Things That Need to Be Said is back, so let me break you guys back in.
He's like, Ben, you being born in Russia, that makes you complicit in this war. I was like, dude, I've lived in America since I was a little kid. I'm only complicit in Iraq. Not as fun when it's coming back at you. I feel a few of you being like, hey, Ben, it's too soon. You're taking advantage of these people's pain and suffering for your own personal gain. I guess that makes me a major media corporation.
Hey everybody, your resident man in black is back again for a new edition of the best kept secret in the conservative movement right here on MRC-TV. I'm Nick Kangadis. Really quick, head on over to Rumble, subscribe to our channel, and hit that like button. And no matter where you watch our videos, please share, like, and don't be afraid to leave a comment. I actually read what you guys have to say, and I occasionally respond, so don't be shy. Now, on with the show. I have one question for all of you. How about that United States Congress, huh? You know, the people that were elected to represent the American people and their interests, but are ignoring the invasion at the southern border.
I missed it, but thank you. Okay. The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Nazi fags.
So that was Congress, celebrating giving another country another $61.8 billion of your money to protect that country's borders, while not moving the needle on securing our borders one iota.
Last year, 853 migrants died crossing illegally into this country. That's almost 3 a day. You go down to the southern border, you go down to Texas, what the Democrats don't bother to do because they don't care about the people dying. And you see photograph after photograph that Texas farmers and ranchers are finding of dead bodies on their property. Many of my colleagues here have been down there with me, have seen the elderly people the human traffickers have abandoned, have seen the pregnant women the human traffickers have abandoned, have seen the infants and toddlers left to die. The Senate Democrats just told the American people they don't give a damn about the bodies and the people who have died the last 3.5 years, and they don't give a damn about the people that are going to die next week.
Oh, and that money is on top of the over $115 billion we've already given to Ukraine for supposedly the same reasons.
Some say, well, we have to deal with our border first. The Ukrainian-Russian border is our border.
Speaking of your money, in case you missed it, and why wouldn't you have, because the establishment propaganda media don't want you to know these things, but the Federation for American Immigration Reform came out with a cost study analysis in March for 2023 of the fiscal burden of illegal immigration on United States taxpayers. You ready for this? $150.7
billion. Oh, gentlemen, silence.
Is the total cost of criminal invaders on all of us. That means between the funding for Ukraine and the cost of criminal invaders to taxpayers in 2023 alone, our governments, both federal and local, have spent over $300 billion of our money on other people from other countries and for other countries and their problems. And I haven't even touched on any of the other conflicts that don't involve the US and the money we send to those foreign nations. Here's 2 more questions. Do any of you remember voting for any of this? Hell, do any of you remember being consulted about any of this by the people that allegedly represent you? I think we all know the answer to those questions.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, but remember when they gave you $300 during COVID? How magnanimous of them. It was your money to begin with. Or at least it will be your money when you pay off all the money they printed during COVID. Your parents, you, your kids, and their kids will be paying that off for the rest of their lives and then some. Your government doesn't care about you. I don't know how many times I can say it. If they did, they wouldn't have left Americans in Afghanistan before screwing up their pullout of that country. If they did, they wouldn't have left Americans as hostages for Hamas. If they did, the Biden regime wouldn't have left hundreds of troops hostage in Niger. Meanwhile, we've got pro-terrorist protesters in New York lighting American flags on fire, screaming death to America.
When I think about the USA, it should burn! Death to America!
And holding signs that read, Free Palestine or else. Or else what? You blue-haired, overprivileged, entitled, spoiled freaks. You know what I find so funny about these ass? I haven't seen one of them drop what they're doing, go over to that region of the world, and offer to fight for what they claim to support. Not one. And you know what? You're not going to. Because that would take stones, and even the ones that have them identify as women. So, not gonna happen.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
That brings me back to the criminal invaders, who apparently have bigger stones than the protesters because they went to a New York City Council meeting and complained about the food they received for free during Ramadan.
But at the shelter, the food, my kids cannot eat the food at the shelter.
Kasuma yedo men sonjino moƴƴa parce que tawi kadi horu gongol arta e kikiɗe tawa ñamete on a wawata mo ñamude.
And on Ramadan time, we couldn't eat because when you come back for the breaks, the food is no good at all.
Well, tough Ahmadina. You know why I care not one bit about your manufactured plight? We've all seen the videos of the homeless in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, New York City, and other places. Well, here's Denver, folks. Friggin' Denver. And if that weren't enough, if you can read what's on the screen, the Democrat mayor has decided to quote unquote cut services to residents and defund the police in order to provide more aid to illegals. I'm really not sure how many times I can raise alarm bells before people stop being outraged and start doing something about it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what you should do. That's up to you as free people. This is what I do. This is how I contribute and try to do something. But for God's sakes, if we leave it up to the people we elect, who clearly don't care one bit about how we feel about pretty much anything they do, then even I won't be able to say the things that need to be said much longer.
Well, shit.
It's getting old, folks, isn't it? At least I feel that way. Aren't you tired of substandard people making the decisions that shape how you live your lives? Aren't you tired of living according to them in their images? I was taught a long time ago that hard work and going out and getting what you want yourself is the only surefire way to get things done, most of the time. But let me ask you one final question. When was the last time a member of Congress that you truly believed in was in the majority that gave the people what they clearly want? It's not their fault that it very rarely occurs, but it sure seems as though the current majority are really good at stealing and then spending your money without your consent and without your best interests at heart. That money is for criminal invaders and foreign nations, not you. So shut up and take it, bigots. So, is what I'm saying really so controversial? Is what I'm saying untrue or some sort of conspiracy? Or were these just things that simply needed to be said? Let me know in the comments, where I do read most and reply to some. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel on Rumble and hit that like button. If you like this video, don't forget to share, comment, and give it a thumbs up. Those are the best ways to help these videos reach more people, and it's the best way to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRC-TV comes out with a new video if they haven't censored it or taken it down yet. Like us on Facebook, check out more of our work at MRCTV.org, and if you want to support our content and the conservative movement, head on over to MRC.org/donate to help us out, since we're a nonprofit and couldn't do what we do without all of you. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.
I want to invite you as my guest on a very special, once-in-a-lifetime, 7-day post-election cruise in the Caribbean. It's going to be a blast.